all these handrails, the nails are shown where they were never caulked in, and they're actually rusting. They used interior nails instead of galvanized exterior nails, and they're all rusting and needs to be all the way up the handrails. Those need to be caulked, and this rear entrance area right in here could use some caulking and touch-up paint. Coming up to these back doors, got some few little red chips here on the door, and I guess we're not supposed to have, we only have a hasp on the inside, so being that these go both ways, we don't need a handle, right? Also back here on the back porch, there's a lot of dirt and stuff on top of the ceiling fan blades and the light fixtures. It's pollen all over the back porch and along here, so we really do need to get somebody to come in and do a cleaning in this area. You can see the pollen up on the walls. This really could use a mop down all in this area. There's scuffs on the wall starting here going all the way around over to this point here, which really needs to be addressed. I don't know if we use a magic eraser or repaint that. And also, this stands out really bad along the baseboard in the same area where the paint is down onto the floor. It'd be really good to get that touched up as well. Get the paint off the floor and touch up the shoe mold along the bottom. The paint is, you can see where the paint head doesn't have full coverage, where they only got one coat. So that would be really good. Maybe touch up around in this main room all the way around. The front door, this weather seal is gluing itself to the door, and it would appear that it's been touched up several times, but the weather stripping across the top has glued paint all over it and down this whole edge. That really, I would just go ahead and replace that weather stripping since it's brand new and it could be easily removed and put back on. And if possible, do it in a bronze instead of a brushed nickel so that it more is consistent with the paint or the hardware that's here. And then this needs to be sanded and paint touched up across the top of the door. And I would suggest taking some WD-40, not dry lube, or you could use dry lube, but lubricating this weather seal so that when the door closes against it and that latex paint heats up, it doesn't glue itself to the door and then cause this to come back again, because it will. Out here in the front at the main entrance, out here on the porch, all these windowsills are still kind of covered up with pollen, and just in this area in particular, right along here, the cut line on that really needs to be tightened up, and on this side of the door as well, in these two areas. This window pane was replaced, and when it was, they never painted it. They glazed it in and did a very nice job, I might add, of glazing it. But there's glazing fingerprints all over the glass, and they never painted the glazing after it's dried. And then there's some red paint chips in a couple of different places. I mean, even the old glazing down here and the paint is chipping. I'm not worried about it on the entire house, but certainly out here on the front porch, you can see how we're looking along the glass. And futuristically, that really should be, the paint should be touching the glass, not the paint scraped back to the glazing. And that's what went wrong here, I can tell you. So using a 6 or 12 inch sheetrock knife and shielding that when you scrape the paint off the glass so that you still have a paint sealing to the glass is really the best method that I've found anyway. You can see these chips along the way. They're all the way up on these windows. So particularly here on the front porch, it would be important to come back through, and maybe this window as well. You can see it does look kind of cruddy along these window frames, and the paint, the glazing completely gone along here. So getting those touch-ups done And then this corner board right here, you can see it's fallen and there's a big gap there that really needs to be, I understand, trying to match the elevation from one side to the other in that corner, but that really needs to be caulked and painted. And then over here, right here, we have a brick that's missing, coming up on the front steps on this side. We need to find another brick and fix that, and it's a very good possibility that we have said brick over here in this yard cart. I don't know if these are all the right ones, but or if there is one in here. It looks like these were part of the original house, so they might work. Even if they're a 3-hole brick and we just fill it in with red mortar, would be better than having a brick missing. Other than that, I think we're looking pretty good. Oh yeah, and we also need to get the landscaper out here to come along and do this front along the road again. And I might even suggest that we sod this along here where it looks so bad, and clean up the patio stones that are here. Go ahead and get some more fresh mulch, pine straw or mulch in these two beds and all the way around the front perimeter of the house.